Вот вы видели эту волну? Это просто жесть.
Ой, дом наш стоит. Все, Олег, нормально, дом стоит. Вон, я вижу его. Вон, видишь?
Дом жив еще?
Да. Ну-ка, да.
This is Dabu 7, and what you guys are looking at is a massive mushroom cloud that came from the strike that took place overnight from Ukraine in Russian territory using drones. It triggered the massive explosion and the after explosions that you've seen in those clips. This is a good bit into Russia, and you can guarantee that Russia is going to see that this is a NATO strike or a Western-backed strike after all this. This is a very important site. This is a Russian weapons stockpile. And some are saying, is there some nuclear in there? Because the mushroom cloud that was emanating from this that you can see here on the left, this is eerily similar to what we've been waiting for in this region. Because the Chinese, when they put the rover in space, in the background on their image, there was a mushroom cloud on Earth, and it made no sense. And when you looked into exactly where this came from, it's in this region, somewhere between Moscow, Ukraine, roughly, right in that area where the war is going down. This mushroom cloud emanates from off this image for no reason. I have multiple videos on my channel. If you type in mushroom cloud Ukraine, covering this, one's got like over 500,000 views. So we've had our eyes on this for about a decade, and now we have a mushroom cloud popping up in this exact area. What this tells me, though, is that they're going to strike back, and they're going to strike back hard. America's about to get caught slipping and sleeping if they don't pay attention. These are huge moves. One of the biggest weapons facilities that they have, this was what they call an earthquake-sized blast. You could see the after fires. It looked like a hellscape in this region. There's no telling just exactly how many people were in this area, but the depot housed Iskander and the Chachka U missiles, as well as glide bombs and artillery shells. Could have had something else in there. This was a main targeted spot. If you ask me, Russia should have never let information out about this. Apparently, over the years, they were releasing information about how much they spent to build this facility. It went into full-blown use in 2018, and it's been housing all these weapons. So to let your enemy know where this is at is kind of dumb, but it's been hit. It's been rocked. Absolutely massive. We haven't seen an explosion like this in terms of this war front yet. I mean, outside of using tactical nukes and things like that, you're not going to see an explosion like this of this magnitude. But this is huge. This could really be a defining moment of where this whole thing goes. Here on this whole world stage, World War III going into motion, the whole nine. This is absolutely huge. And Russia is definitely going to respond somehow, some way to this. So, a heads up if you don't know. Again, apparently Ukraine struck a good bit into Russia and hit this depot, and it's massive, and it's eerily similar to the warning we've had for a decade about this, or a mushroom cloud in the region. So, join me on my live streams, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Your Lord willing, this is a turning point. All right. More than likely, Russia is going to retaliate in some way, shape, form, or fashion. This is big, But before getting started, I want to give all praises, Kal Halayim, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you, hopefully elect. All right. Diligently and sincerely serving Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in sincerity and in truth, and looking to get the fuck up out of here. All right. I'm gonna start off with this real quick, because like I said, Lord willing, this is a turning point. Lord willing, this is only going to escalate. All right. Because things have been happening quick. Things are moving quick. We are almost we're pretty much like in the heat of prophecy. I'm gonna just grab this real quick in Matthew 24. and 32. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. All right. Matter of fact, verse 34, it says, Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. All right. And, the scriptures talk about declaring new things. The Lord will declare new things. All right. Such as the MOTB, which we know we're close. All right. We believe this to be the generation that will see the second coming of Yahushua. And this is all according to prophecy, which is our measuring stick. That is our measuring tool. And like I said, this Lord one is this ain't nothing but a further escalation, a further hastening. All right, to the Lord getting us up out of here, because like I said, this is not a small matter. This is big. The fact that Ukraine is being supplied by weapons, by NATO, America, which Vladimir Putin has pretty much been condemning the West and its allies. All right. Vladimir Putin over the years, he's been drawing these red lines, which, of course, the West has been continuously saying, the hell with that. The West has been continuously crossing those boundaries. All right. And as of recent, Vladimir Putin sent out a threat because, again, with all the aid that's being supplied to Ukraine by the West and NATO, it would make sense because, Ukraine, they don't possess this type of capability. They don't possess certain capabilities. So it would make sense. It only makes sense that, and it's fair, quite honest, to say that, from Russia's perspective, to blame the West and its allies, because they're the ones supplying these weapons to the Ukraine. So with that being said, Lord willing, this is an escalation. Me personally, I feel, just my vain opinion, and I've said this before, as far as these so-called elections that are coming up, because, over the months, this year alone, these nations have been moving very quick or very rapidly. China, Russia, and certain of these nations, because, if Trump somehow gets back up in there, which me personally, which it doesn't matter, because prophecy will get played out regardless, but I don't see Trump getting back in there, but if he does, for the most part, when he was in office, for the most part, he somewhat had these nations in check. And the fact that we're coming up to these so-called elections, these nations have been moving rather quickly, making moves. Because if Trump gets back up in office, then, like I said, it's gonna be different. It will be different. So I feel that these nations are moving so rapidly. I feel that they would do something before these so-called elections, in case Trump gets back up in office, these nations could do something. And they've been talking about that, something taking place, a series of events taking place before these elections, But to bring it back to this, like I said, this is no light matter. We can expect some type of a retaliation, and again, the Russians are definitely going to blame the West and its allies because they're the ones supplying Ukraine. Again, Ukraine, they don't possess the capabilities of conducting such strikes like this. So it's obvious. Here it is. You got West and its allies supplying Russian enemies. Because again, Putin, he's been throwing out these threats. He's been throwing out these threats. So with that being said, we can expect some type of an attack. It's safe to say Russia will retaliate, not just on the Ukraine, all right, but Lord willing on its allies, all right, hence there, America, Babylon. You see, being that again, the West will be blamed, all right, Babylon will be blamed, NATO as well, but mainly Babylon because, this is the golden cup in the Lord's hand, and there's serious judgments coming to Babylon. All right. Things are about to get crucial. It's about to get dangerous. I'm going to grab this. 2 Peter 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right. Perilous, going into dangerous, extreme evils, bad times. All right, because going to this in Isaiah, because here it is, you just had these attacks out there in Lebanon, which is being blamed on the state, those Amalekites over there with these pager attacks and cell phone attacks and things of that nature, which they're saying that that's pretty much their 9/11. All right. You had a little scare here in Babylon. There's just a lot of fishy things going on. Something's getting ready to go down out here, that's going to change the course of everything. It's going to change how we live. All right. As I always say, one day we're going to wake up and things are going to be different. It's just going to be different, and not in a good way, just complete dystopian, which when you go to dystopian, it just pretty much is just everything bad, versus utopian, which is pretty much everything good. But we're heading towards a dystopian type of an environment. All right. America is about to be invaded. America is about to get her cherry popped, That's why I want to go to this in Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There was no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. Because like I quoted, America has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand for a long time. But we're in the time where, hey, the iniquities of Babylon have reached to the heavens. All right. It's time for Babylon's judgment to commence. And like I said, a virgin daughter of Babylon. You sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. For a long time, America hasn't been touched, hasn't seen warfare. But all that's about to change. It's about to be the total opposite. The Lord is really about to flip this place upside down. Because everything we see on the news, if you're paying attention, you got all these countries going through these humanitarian crisis. You got certain countries going through blackouts. There's all type of judgments going on throughout the four corners of the earth. And, I did a video on this the other day, about how these Babylonians, man, these simple Babylonians, they really have a mindset, have an attitude where they just really think it can't be touched. For some odd reason, all these things, these plagues are going on around the earth. Judgment is going on around the earth. The different nations. But for some strange reason, these Babylonians they believe it can't come here. It's that, or you're just not going to get touched. Well, little do these people know. That's why I want to jump down to verse Isaiah 47:7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Yeah, man, and that's the mindset of these people. America's just gonna continue on, forever. America's never gonna come to an end. That's what these Americans, these simple Babylonians, that's what they think. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. Just complete pride, all right? That's why I pursue the second Edges 15, the pride of thy cities, because of the pride of thy cities, hey, the Lord's going to lay low the haughtiness. The Lord's going to humble this place, all right? It says, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment. And one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. Because the Lord's going to make a statement with Babylon. That's why he's saving the worst for last, man. He's saving the worst for this place. It says, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. All right. So the Lord has something special in store for this place. All right. Judgments are getting ready to commence. And that's going to come in many forms. Like I said, invasions. I use the example all the time. Certain countries, you have it to where, children, all they know is war. It's war riddance. It's just war torn. You have in a lot of places, man, babies literally being born and they grow up in an environment where all they know is bombs going off. Bombs going off, death, and in a lot of places, that's what a lot of babies are being born, and that's all they know. They grow up in that type of environment, and that's going to happen here in America. All right. Again, this setting here is about to change very drastically, and it's going to hit these people hard, man. That's why I said in verse 1, come sit in the dust because this is Babylon the Great. It's not called Babylon the Great for no reason. This is the most wicked empire to ever be in power. And when the Lord brings this place down, to our joy, but to these people is going to be to their, like, oh my God, how could this happen? Because like all the ancient empires that ruled in their time, they were all great in their time. And they had the same attitude that these Babylonians had. We can never get taken down. We can never get touched. Ancient Egypt, them Egyptians never thought they would go down. The ancient Babylonians, they never thought they would go down. And so on and so forth. Well, America's no different. All right. America's no different. I'm going to go to Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13:21. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. All right, matter of fact, because I'm going to read verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. So you see, because nobody wants to hear these words, No one wants to hear these words. That's why it's a burden. It's a burden to these people. Because obviously these people, they're living it up. They want to have fun. They sit as a queen. They say in their heart, I am. Right? That's the attitude of these Babylonians. They can't get touched. They feel they can't get touched. Right? To these people, it's impossible. And that's why the prophets are looked at as crazy, man. Crazy. We're looked at as crazy. Because I always make this point, make no mistake. Hey, remember, We are in the belly of the beast. All right. We're in the midst of this kingdom. We're in the middle of this kingdom, telling the so-called white man that he's going down in his kingdom. That sounds outrageous. That sounds crazy. You know, the things that we prophesy in the name of Yahweh Shemal Shai, in the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shai, it sounds crazy. America's going down. America's going to get invaded. What? Terrorist attacks? What are y'all talking about? You know? But the verse 22 says, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So you see, man, something's getting ready to go down. You know, we know at any moment, any day now, you know, any day now, any moment. All right, because we can definitely, and I'm just speculating in the spirit, but to definitely expect some type of retaliation, not just on Ukraine, but on American soil as well, being that, you know, America's involved as well as NATO, you know, because again, they're the ones supplying these type of weapons, you know. Something big's coming, you know, something's getting ready to go down, you know, and the Lord is just lining everything up. So, you know, be careful out here. You know, you Akim and Akwath, be careful. You know, yeah, it's about to get serious. It's serious now, but it's about to get crucial. You know. So Lord, one of this was edifying. Call Halayim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom to you. Hopefully let.